Hello everybody, welcome to My Good Life. I'm Uzma. I'm standing under the shade of this beautiful Japanese Acer tree, and I just love when it more blooms, winter's over and everything starts to come to life and colour comes to life. It's just wonderful. Today, it's a slightly different kind of video from my usual, but along the same theme of what I usually talk about, which is mental fitness and well-being. I was asked by a university podcast to be to be interviewed really to talk about exam stress. And I thought, fantastic, I'd love to do that. I also asked the lovely Natalie, who interviewed me, whether I could film it for my YouTube family, and she kindly agreed. So I thought I would share with you some of those poignant learnings that, if any of you that are out there are in the midst of doing exams, or exams are coming up, or they'll be coming up in the future, and you just feel that exam stress. So here's a little bit of the clip, not the whole interview, because the interview took about half an hour, and I will share a link when I do receive it. So keep an eye out for this video from time to time. But I haven't got, it's literally, I only had the interview a couple of days ago. But let's have a look at this, and I'll come back to you at the end with some of my thoughts and reflections. Meanwhile, I'm just going to stand here this glorious day and enjoy this beautiful tree.
So, Uzma, thank you for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. I'm really excited.
How are we?
Okay, I'm calming down,
We're chill.
getting into the moment.
Okay, perfect. We'll go straight into the questions then. So, what is exam stress? Talk us through it.
Okay, I'll kind of put it in a summary form, a bullet form. When you're feeling very anxious about an upcoming exam, you will get stressed. The heart rate will increase. Your thought processes will increase.
Yeah.
And they increase because of certain pressures. Pressures of, we're not ready.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we haven't studied. Oh my gosh, what do others think? What will my teachers think?
Yeah.
All of that adds to the stress of an upcoming exam, or even whilst you're in it. So it's that thought process, that negative thought process, that keeps repeating itself on like a loop.
Okay.
That's exam stress.
Okay, and does everyone experience exam stress then?
Everyone experiences degrees. The more prepared you are, the less you will experience it. You may then say, oh, I hope I get better marks than I did last time,
Yeah.
because I want to impress my family or my peers or my teacher. So it'll be a bit less. It could be more if you're not prepared. So the less prepared you are, the higher the degree of exam stress.
Okay. I always find I'm always over prepared, and then I'm still stressed to the max, and I'll be crying during, before, after the exam. I'm like, that was horrendous.
Yeah. But do you think that's because also, I'm going to throw it back at you, is it because you put your pressure on yourself of others' expectations at that point?
Yeah, probably.
Because you're over-prepared, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like the more prepared you are, it'll be another kind of stress, but it'll be less degree of exam stress than somebody who's not prepared.
Okay.
You're on
I get that.
that.
I'm on a different scale.
Yeah, we're on a different scale.
Okay, so what are your top 3 tips then on managing exam stress?
Right, here are the 3 tips.
Okay.
Make sure you make out a plan. It could be, if you know your exams are coming up a month before, make a monthly plan. If you know your exams are coming up a fortnight ago or ahead or a week ahead, make a plan. And what that plan should be is your study periods, your course time periods, and your break period, which takes me to the second tip.
Yes.
Take a break. And that doesn't mean sit in the library and get up and just go and have a loo break. I mean, eat, sleep, make sure that you take a walk, make sure you just step away for at least 10 minutes. And I would say that you should take a break on the hour every 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes break on the hour. And that can go on for about 6 or 7 hours. After that, take a break for a few hours, sleep.
Okay.
And the third and final tip is leave enough time to revise. You really got to leave. If your exam's coming up, let's say a week ahead, I would leave a week and keep going over it, keep going over it. So 1 week should be just revision. Those are it. That's it.
Okay. That's great. We'll talk about like stress then. And I was just kind of thinking about how if I'm really stressed and if I'm like in the exam season and I'm stressed to the hilt and someone says to me like, oh, it doesn't matter. Immediately I'm just thinking like, oh, thanks. Like, because it makes it sound like they're saying that your anxiety like isn't valid in this situation is what it feels like. So what advice would you give to someone in this situation that you think would be maybe a bit more helpful?
Some stress is good. It motivates you, right? But it's how much can you control that some stress, you know? So I think stress is good up to a point. For example, if you're not able to sleep well, that's too much stress.
Okay.
Right? So that's your marker,
Yeah.
right? If you're not eating well, you've gone beyond some stress.
Okay.
But let's say it's a bit like going to an interview, right? And like I came to this, right?
Yes.
And the night before you're feeling, oh my gosh, I wonder what I'm going to say. And then what I did is use my prefrontal cortex and write some notes, right? And say, okay, I'm semi-prepared. And semi is going, and all right, that's good, but I'm a little bit anxious. That's good.
Okay.
Because I'm not staying in that state of this is this is making me feel really bad. So I say to students, if you've got some stress, that just check it. Is it too much? By the markers that I say, like, are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you socializing? If that's right, then maybe a little stress is okay. Is it motivating you to do something? Writing notes, saying, oh, I've got to be there on time. I've got to wear nice clothes, or I've got to make sure my notebooks are there, or all my digital equipment's there. That's a good thing, Over preparing sometimes is a good thing.
Yes.
So I think a little stress really can work with you, and I think it should be encouraged actually. But to say that, oh God, don't care, you don't worry about it, you're such a great student, you're really prepared, oh, you're fantastic, that doesn't help, because inside you're doing somersaults.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, you know what, this person doesn't understand me.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing the right thing. Little bit of stress is good.
Okay. And so like everything in balance kind of thing then?
That's the problem. The word balance is very controversial in the sense that what is balance? Because people always then say, well, what is balance? Is it right in the middle? Are we say, or is it to the left or to the right? Can still be balanced.
Okay.
That's why I gave you those markers. You've got to really look at your lifestyle and say, am I overdoing something that I shouldn't do? So check your markers.
Okay.
Because your balance, Natalie, could be something completely different.
Okay.
To mine.
Okay.
Right. I can have high stress and not realize that actually it's higher than yours, but I think it's in balance.
Okay.
So what is balance, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd say check how it affects your life. So there's a famous Chinese saying that is, time is a minute as long as you're in it.
Okay.
Which means you can live in the past or you can live in the future. But if you do, you miss the moment you're right in it.
Right. I like that, actually.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
live
remain
in it,
present.
in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Live in the
remain
moment.
in it. You're studying. You've taken a break.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about the past or the future, how bad your exams were, or whether they'll be rubbish this time. Live in the moment. Say, you know what? I'm taking a break. I'm giving it my best shot.
That's great. I really like that one.
Yeah.
And I've seen this is me exposing myself for being chronically on TikTok here, but I've seen another TikTok.
All right, okay. I should get on TikTok, you know that?
I feel like I'm on a good side, but it was talking about her and her friends do this thing where they call it like saving the day. So like if they've spent all day studying or like at work at their 9 to 5, they'd be like, okay, how can we save the day?
Right.
And it could be like them reading their book with a cup of tea, or like going out for dinner, or like going over to their mum's house.
Okay.
And it's just like something to do for yourself, and just something that's specifically for you, and not for
that's a
exams.
good that's a good TikTok.
Yeah.
I encourage that. I encourage that. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So I'm implementing that into my life now.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the questions I have. Do you have anything else you want to add yourself?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed listening to that podcast interview. And for those who are sitting exam or about in the midst of it or about to sit exams, I hope you took away some useful tips that may help alleviate some of that anxiety and stress. When you're about to sit exams or in the midst of it, I know from having sat a lot of them that sometimes I'd put a lot of pressure on myself. And it was very hard to not do that and not to overthink what others thought of me. And the way I went about managing it is just organizing my time a bit better, and then taking breaks, and just finding enough time before the exam to revise. So I hope I've given you food for thought. And for those who are doing those exams right now, good luck. And I hope that you all do well. Until next time, goodbye.